All right, I got my apron on, Chris. What are we going to do?
Well, Pablo, I thought I'd show you how we decorate the original cheesecake in the restaurants. And I'll simply pipe on some whipped cream, show you how we do it. It's unique. The way that we do it in the stores, we like to make sure that you have enough whipped cream with every bite of your cheesecake. What is unique about the way that we do it at the Cheesecake Factory is that, again, we do put on the 2 dollops of cream. And again, that's just to ensure that every slice has got enough whipped cream.
Right.
You're going to want to twist this bag so you get the tension up in your hand.
Got it.
And then this here is just basically going to be directing you. So if you do it down, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and cut off.
And what if I do it?
Well, if you don't cut off on the gas, it's just going to spill all over the place.
Right.
So if you think that it's 3 turns, and then again, you want to end all of your tips going in the same direction. See, it gets a little bit more complicated than you think. So if you'd like to try it, are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed, I think. Except in pool, I'm left-handed, but so I could be a left-handed, what do you call this?
Piping bag.
I could be a left-handed piper bagger.
Yes, you could.
And so it's just simply start down, and I'm going to be going counterclockwise.
You're going to be going, actually no, I was going clockwise.
Right.
And this, your left hand is going to give you the gas. Wow, impressive. Very nice.
It's not bad,
now you see, no, it's not. Definitely not. Now you see how
Room
this.
for improvement.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. But you know, it's time and familiarity. It takes a lot of practice to get this done right.
All right, so take us through now. You've done this in all types of shapes and sizes here. This is the most popular cheesecake.
This is the most popular cheesecake.
It's just cheesecake with strawberries.
That is our original plan. That's the original formulation.
And now we've got all kinds of other things that you
Sure. This here, for instance, is our new wild blueberry. So again, this is going on trends of what's going on in the industry. I mean, we pay attention to what goes on in the 4- and 5-star restaurants. And then it's our job, obviously, to get that into casual dining. A lot of times, the flavor profiles that we'll see when we're doing our competitive dining will influence us or inspire us to come up with a new flavor, but obviously our main vehicle is cheesecake. So there's some challenge to get that, that same flavor profile through, because a lot of times flavors will compete with cheese. It's tangy, so you got 2 acids going on with the chocolate or a coffee.
Why not just stick with the original? I mean, why do you have to get fancy with all this stuff?
Well, you know, as we're known in the industry for having a lot of variety on both of our savory side and dessert side, so it's what people expect of us after this many years being in the business. So, like I said, we like to just keep it fresh so that there's something for everybody.
Making cheesecake at home, is it that, I mean, you know, is it that difficult a thing to do? Is it take practice? What do you recommend if someone wants to do
If someone wants to make something at home, I recommend really doing it in a water bath. And it promotes a lot of even cooking to avoid a lot of cracks. A lot of people, the biggest mistake they'll make is over baking a cheesecake. So what we always recommend is you need to underbake that a little bit, similar to like a roast that you're bringing out. You're going to cook that to temperature, but then you're going to allow it to rest so that you don't lose all the juices. Again, you have the carryover heat that will continue to bake the cheesecake, and then it sets. And that's the biggest mistake people make, is over baking the cheesecake.
That's when it gets a little kind of squishy looking.
It
and
shrinks up and you'll get a large
a
crack in the middle of it, yes.
I've seen that. But I won't say it wasn't, I didn't do it, but I've seen that happen before.
But you know, in some of the designs that we have here, again, we're mass producing here, but some of these designs by design were put on there, you know, to make sure that it's embellishing the top of the cheesecake and it's not just this plain appearance on the top.
What are they doing back here? Can you take us back here?
We sure can. I think that we're just mixing up some batters here. The guys are working around with different, this is a new batter that we're playing around with. So they're just testing to make sure that one, you know, the viscosity is where it needs to be and the sweetness. Cheesecakes will typically bake about 2 hours, so it's quite a lengthy process. It's not something that you can do on a hotline where you're making adjustments to a formulation. Basically what we're doing right now is just playing around with combinations. The guys are going to be getting some different inclusions with this base batter. This is a batter that we use in one of our other cheesecakes. This one here in particular is a white chocolate based batter. So now we're just coming up with different flavor combinations, and a lot of times at the end of the day, this is what we do. We'll stand around and try to come up with different combinations, and you never know what's going to work.
Well, do you ever discover anything by accident?
Yes.
I mean, you accidentally poured, you know, what is this? These are chips?
Just some chocolate chunks.
So if I poured, I won't do it, but if I poured these in here, that would create something
pour them
different.
Pour them right into the bowl that Magnus got there.
Thing?
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
So then we'll see. We'll bake this off and we'll see, is that going to be too much chocolate? It may be. So a lot of times we'll do several different variations.
So it's
with
not
weights.
only the ingredients, it's the amount of ingredients that you put into it.
Exactly. exactly. And again, you're talking about that balance that Alan's speaking of there, because the cheesecake batter itself does have a tang to it. So
Right.
a lot of these inclusions that you put in may compete, and the end result might be something that's very sour and unpleasing to the palate.
So, which one are we doing right now? What are you doing right now?
Well, right now, again, this is a white chocolate base, and now that we have your white chocolate chunks in there,
Right.
I'd probably take that into maybe a triple chocolate. So we'll
Right.
probably go and add some milk chocolate to this, maybe layer this up with a dark chocolate mousse, you know, maybe a cake base on the bottom.
So I guess what's kind of fun about this job is there is a lot of creativity.
Oh my
involved.
gosh, yes, definitely, most definitely. I mean, Alan and I were both trained in one of the top schools in California, so we're all local here, which is great. So it's great to be a part of the community here in Calabasas that, you know, we're able to do this job because it is so much fun.
So who tests this once you've baked it, and who's going to test it? And
We'll have
decide?
our executive team. If it's something for an outside customer, we have an executive tasting team that'll come in a
Right.
panel, and we'll review that with them. If it's something for our restaurants, then we'll go directly over to David Overton, our president, and we deal directly with David.
So what do you mean? You put a piece of cheesecake on a plate, you bring it up, say, taste this. What do you think? That's
Yeah, we'll have scheduled cuttings with him where he's reviewing new items for the menu, and then, like I said, we'll be reviewing new items for the Grand Lux as well as the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Cheesecake is not really something you would add to your dietary supplement per se if you're trying to lose weight, though, is it?
Well, you know, the one thing is, our cheesecakes are packed with so much flavor. You don't need to consume an entire piece if you don't want. We encourage sharing, having multiple flavors and things like that. But yeah, we do have a sugar-free cheesecake on the menu, and we have had light cheesecakes on the menu. And again, they come and go with trends, and you know, if we're not happy with what a light cheesecake is going to deliver to our guests, then we're going to hold off on launching that until it's just perfect. I know it took us quite a while working on the sugar-free version. And again, you know, most people were out ahead of us, 6 months to a year, but we put this on and now it's got staying power, and the guests really, really enjoy it because we took that extra time to make sure it was perfect.
All right, Chris, thanks for the tour. We
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Pablo. I appreciate it.
Okay, cool. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of City Spotlight. We hope you've enjoyed the program, and we'd like to thank our friends here at the Cheesecake Factory for letting us into their test kitchen here. And just remember, next time you go out for cheesecake, it's a pretty good bet that it was made right here in our home city. I'm Pablo Pereira, and thanks for joining us.